What's up guys, and welcome to Landmannalaugar. We are in the middle of the Icelandic highlands in the winter. It is my favorite time to be outdoors. For this trip I have a special camera with me, sent from Canon for testing, and that is the C80. Now, I've actually been looking for a new camera for my studio at home, but something that can also come into the field with me and be an A camera for different kinds of projects, such as short films and documenting other activities that are going on around me. I do believe this could be the camera that ticks all of the boxes. Currently negative 21 degrees Celsius, freezing cold. We had quite an adventurous drive in this morning through the Blue Hour and then following some tracks which make it a lot faster to get through the winter landscape. We have a mission of just enjoying one of the last pure days before a storm comes through. Having this C80 with me allows me to just kind of freestyle a little bit and see what this camera can do in different environments. I've taken this camera on one expedition to the mountains already, trying a lot of the different features that really sold me as this potentially being the camera for all-round use. So the C80 has a triple native ISO. That is 800, 3200 and 12,800. It's such a wild triple combination. I've personally never used a camera that has a triple base ISO. And this means that I can just shoot in those native ISOs in all different environments and really get the most out of the sensor. Now, in addition to that, it also has internal NDs, being able to just set, for example, a filter on the front that has a predefined look. It might be a circular polarizer. I don't have to be stacking on other filters in order to get the exposure how I need to balance the shutter speed out. And now having it internally in the camera just makes life a whole lot easier. The C80 has a 6K RAW sensor, but it only allows up to 30 frames per second, meaning that it is more of a documentary style, real-time filming when you are in 6K. But it then does also have a Super 35 4K mode. I've been shooting a lot in 50 frames per second. I've been able to just do those slow-mo B-roll shots that pair nicely with the documentation of a day like this. For me, it's totally been enough to have that just 50 frames in RAW, and with that I'm able to then have fun in the grade. And in environments like this where we have such variable light, it is nice to have that RAW functionality, allowing me to focus more on the shot itself and less on needing to dial in every single frame that I'm clicking record on. I have that flexibility in post-production. We are surrounded by snowmobiling groups today. And of course, I totally get it. The conditions are absolutely insane, but I hope that the audio still sounds good. And actually, that's my next point that I really love about this camera, is that it has XLR audio inputs. It has 2 of them. And on this camera, they're actually mini XLR. So I had to buy a pretty specialized cable in order to actually plug in my normal XLR microphone that is phantom powered. And I actually have a new microphone that I'm trying. It is a short shotgun mic. I'm quite far away from the camera in this moment with a bunch of background noise, so we'll have to see how it goes. My main seller for this was that I can have the XLR audio in the field, and then when I'm at the studio, then I can be using podcast microphones. I can have 2 of those in the same time and use my desktop mic to really get the best audio for those videos in my studio and then also out in the field. So coming from the R5C, which has been my main filming camera for the last few years, the C80 has a much bigger battery, and that has been truly awesome. To have that extra battery life, I only need a couple of these batteries to last the entire day. But this of course comes with a bit of extra weight. This camera has a much bigger form factor to what I've been used to with the R5C, so that's taken a little bit to adjust, and it does have an effect on how you shoot, I would say. I have to be a little bit more prepared when using the C80, but I think that fits the needs of everyone who would want to buy this camera for more of a documentary style or commercial style of filmmaking. One thing that I was sad about when I saw the specs of the C80 is that it only has 2 SD card slots and requires special V90 SD cards. So I've actually had to invest in new SD cards when already having very awesome memory cards that I'm used to on the R5C, and I guess they saved that for the C400. So along with the C80, I've been trying out a new cinema hybrid lens from Canon, the 24-105 2.8. It's kind of an all-in-one lens, just like I consider the C80 to be an all-in-one. And on the last couple of trips, I've been putting this lens to the test. It's been amazing to have such a huge range available inside of one lens. Now, it is not the smallest lens, but other than that, I've found it to be a really nice experience, especially for documentary style, shooting the action as it's going on throughout the day, to just have everything available in one. I am also excited to try other cinema lenses on this camera in the future, but for now, this seems to be the all-in-one combo. So just to wrap up all those specs into what this camera will actually mean to me and how I'm going to use it, and it really is that all-in-one functionality packed into a camera that I can have in my studio and with me in the field. That is what makes me so excited. It is the internal NDs and all the practical features, the great audio. These are things that I'm excited to put to the test this year as I continue to use this camera, because this is only my second shoot with it so far. I'm excited to break this camera down into its lightest form factor with no top handle, no audio, and then have it with me in situations where I can film wildlife. I would love to try the 400mm 2.8 with this camera in future Arctic expeditions. So this spring you'll be able to join me as we head really far north in the archipelago of Svalbard. So stay tuned for that. But for now, the light has become beautiful and soft, what we've been waiting this afternoon for, and I'm going to set up a couple of shots to close out the day. With that, I say thank you for watching this little first initial thoughts on the Canon C80, and stay tuned for more. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more from the Arctic and from Iceland in the middle of the Highlands.